What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here with another edition of Tobacco Talk, where I review a cigar and then I give you my thoughts on it in 4 key areas: flavor, draw, construction, and burn. It's everything you want to know about that cigar, but it's from my palate's perspective, and then I rate it as to whether I think it's noteworthy or not. So the cigar for this review comes from the Artesano Del Tobacco brand. It is the Viva La Vida line, and they did the 5th anniversary unveiling at PCA this year. I got a chance to talk to Billy and Gus. That interview is up on my channel, and talk about all the different things that they have been up to. And they did release 2 different 5-year anniversary editions. This one here is the Jester, and so I'm going to go through and review. This is the Viva La Vida Jester, and this is in the Flat Bellicoso Vitola. So, if we're going to review it, there's only one thing left to do. Let's light it up. All right, like usual, I went with my straight cut, and on the cold draw, typical earthiness, dried fruit, usual things that you pick up. So let's go ahead and toast her up. Okay, upon initial light up, absolutely Viva La Vida, 100%. It is that just trademark earthiness and that leather and that dark baking cocoa and that bitter coffee espresso, all of that together with the dark woodiness. It is like the fingerprint of the Viva La Vida line, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to smoke through the first third. When I come back, I will let you know the blend on the cigar. I will let you know where they were made or where they are made, the reason behind doing a 5-year anniversary, all those different things, and of course, flavor notes, all that good stuff. So here's to the first third. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the first third. Ash is holding on well. It is stacking dimes, but the burn does have a little bit of a wave to it. Nothing too terrible. I haven't corrected it. You can just see that oily sheen on that wrapper. Boy, howdy. Right there. There we go. You can see the oiliness on there. All right, let's talk about the blend on this cigar. Set that down there. The blend on this is identical to the original Jester with one exception, and that is the wrapper leaf. So Abdel Fernandez did find some wrapper leaf that really piqued the interest of Billy and Gus. And so it is an Habano Connecticut Maduro. I know you're thinking that is 3 separate things, Tim, but it is an Habano Connecticut Maduro wrapper. And then the binder and filler are all from Nicaragua. So that's the blend on this cigar. And what they wanted to do with this is basically put out a limited 5-year anniversary celebrating the Viva La Vida line, sort of taking the industry by storm, because it was everywhere. It was talked about by every content creator, all the reviewers, all the media outlets when it came out, and it was big news. Very, very good cigar. It's been put on lists for a number of years, ever since it was released 5 years ago. And it has just done so well that they wanted to put out a 5-year celebration. And they did 2 different ones for the 5-year celebration. They did this one, which is the Jester, which is a 5.5 by 56, and they call it a flat round bellicoso. And so it's basically a bellicoso, but it's, imagine you cut off just the little pointed tip on it and you made it flat. That's what they did with it. And then the other one is the Club 500, which was one of the releases they did for the Viva La Vida. It was a line extension, and they did that, and that's a little bit different Vitola, and so they that one actually is a Perfecto, if I'm not mistaken, and they released that as well. I did have that one at the PCA trade show. Absolutely delicious. So that's the blend on it. Let's get to the flavor notes in this first third, though. So that earthiness, that is just the trademark of this cigar, mixed with the little bit of woodiness. It did taper down in this first third from the initial light up, and that like coffee espresso note and that dark chocolate cocoa is just completely covering my palate. There's no one flavor note that's really overpowering another, with the exception of that wood that did taper down. But there is a little bit of pepper that's in there. It's not crazy. You hardly notice it when you retrohale. It is very, very smooth. The draw is very nice. No issues whatsoever on that. Not have any issues with it being too tight, too loose. Very nice. As you can see, the construction is doing well. And I would say the strength through the first third is probably a medium minus, not super strong, but the Viva La Vida line is known for being about a medium plus in strength, and so I don't expect that this Jester is going to be any different than that. But the only way to find that out is to continue going through it. So when I come back at the end of the second third, I'll let you know any more information that you need to about this cigar. You can get all the information that I was sharing actually at tobaccotalkmedia.com. my website where I've got press releases and everything. If you scroll down a little bit, you will see the information talking about the 2 releases, the Club 500 as well as this Jester for the 5-year anniversary release of the Viva La Vida line. So you can go to tobaccotalkmedia.com, get all that information. But let's jump into the second third and see how the cigar continues. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the second third. You can see right here, pretty much straight. I did have to do one little touch up. You can see right here the darker ash that's right there. That is where I did touch it up just a little bit. It wasn't getting crazy wonky, but it was just starting to get enough off that I figured, you know what, I'll touch it up. But other than that, it's been doing great so far. Okay, flavor notes in the second third. They continued to develop the exact same way that I am so used to the Viva La Vida line doing, and that earthiness did come back in the second third, followed real closely by that earthiness, and then a really nice leather note came into it. The coffee note has tapered way back. The pepper is just a little bit more noticeable. The retrohale is still very, very smooth. It's not going to clear your sinuses, but very earthy, very leather forward, very, very nice. And there's this nice sort of baking spice savory note that's in there as well. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but just very, very nice and doing quite well. The price point on these, in case you're curious, is the MSRP is $19, and they come in boxes of 10. If you can still find them, great. I know that when I interviewed Billy and Gus at PCA, that they had mentioned that they had basically sold out of everything. So that means that they are all at the brick and mortars because they've already been shipping. Obviously, if I have one here, they have been shipping out. So if you're interested in finding it, that's the price point on it. Good luck finding a box. Truly good luck. I hope you do find one. If you enjoy the Viva La Vida line, you've probably already got your hands on these. That's the flavor notes. Strength on this, I would say, is just a good solid medium. It hasn't ramped up a whole lot. It's not at medium plus. It's getting real close to it, but it's not quite there yet. Draw staying very nice. No issues with that whatsoever. Plentiful smoke output. It is a little bit on the thinner end of the smoke in terms of like richness and just like thick billowy smoke, but it's not wispy by any means whatsoever. So I'm going to jump into the final third of this cigar, and when I come back, I will let you know any changes in the flavor profile, how it's been treating me, and of course, I will let you know whether I think this is noteworthy or not. All right, let's wrap up this review. Here's the cigar at the end. You can see the burn there. Pretty much straight, not doing bad at all. Just a little bit of a wave to it. Can't complain though. Okay, as the cigar finished up, strength on this definitely did ramp up. It's definitely a medium plus, borderline full minus. I'm going to say more of a medium plus in my experience here. Flavor notes though, that earthiness definitely is there. The leather came much more out in the final third and really, really enjoyed that. The woodiness has pretty much disappeared completely. There's a little hint of that coffee note, sort of like an espresso kind of note that's in there. The baking spice that was there earlier in the second third is completely gone now. Just very rich, full-bodied, medium plus strength, really good, solid cigar. So, with my experience, and the draw stayed absolutely flawless, no problems with that whatsoever. With my experience in this and the flavor notes and the transitions and everything, is this a nub-worthy cigar? This is absolutely a nub-worthy cigar. This is a cigar that I can definitely see if you're a die-hard Artesano Del Tobacco fan and the Viva La Vida line, this is something you don't want to go without. Again, it's the limited 5-year anniversary edition, so they are limited in quantities, but go and look for them. I definitely would say that this is something that if you enjoy the Viva La Vida line, you need to at least try. And honestly, I would go straight to, I know that they're boxes of 10. If you can find a box, go straight to a box for this. Absolutely delicious, very enjoyable. The progression of the first, second, final third, how the strength just gently ramped up through it. It wasn't overpowering, nothing like that at all. And the pepper in the final third is just very, very smooth, very mild. It's more of a like a white pepper, now just coating my palate. Very smooth, very nice. But if you've had this cigar, go ahead and put some comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Have you had it? Is this something that you're going to check out? Maybe because it's the 5-year, you just have to go and get it. Maybe because you've had the regular stuff, you're thinking, it's not that much different. I would encourage you, because of the Habano Connecticut Maduro wrapper on here, how it is different than the original that was put out there. Go and check it out. Go and try it. But that's been my take on the Viva La Vida 5th year anniversary of the Jester. But that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. Enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you